What up, YouTube? I really want to go in real quick on this, man. Real quick. I was listening to this video. I only got 20 minutes into an hour and 30-40 minute video because I couldn't take any more of the nonsense that I was hearing because it was garbage. You know what I'm saying? And I have much respect for the elders in the black community, those who were actually agents of positive change. I have nothing but respect for them. No contempt or disdain whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But too often in the black community, there are too many quote-unquote elders who have nothing but criticism for what the youth are doing. And the funny thing is, in every single fucking way, you help contribute to the degradation of the black community. You help to create the situation that we're in right now. You help to create that. And I'm not talking about any other race right now. Asians, Hispanics, whatever, white people, I'm not talking about them. Fuck them for right now, because this is not about them. This is about my people right now. I'm only talking about my people. And I'm not saying that any other race is better or worse, or that the situations in our community are worse off than any other situation, or whatever have you. I'm just focusing on my community because it's the only, it is the only thing that I have to hold in contrast. It is the only thing that I have to reference. Because I'm black and I only grew up in a black community, so I don't have any other references. So I grew up, I was a little kid in the 80s, you know, when crack first came onto the scene. I was a little kid in the 80s. I was a teenager in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, or became a teenager in the 90s. But I saw what crack did to my neighborhood. I saw what it did to my city. It destroyed it. It eroded the city. It was like somebody just took some of the strongest acid in the world and just threw it on your brand new car. And then you're just sitting there watching the acid just slowly but surely fucking eat your car away. To erode it, to destroy it, to make it a remnant of what it was prior to. I watched it. I came up in a very unique time where I got to actually see firsthand a time-lapse version of what the crack epidemic can do to a fucking community. I watched it happen. Watched it with my own eyes. And through all of that, there were plenty of black men who stayed in with their families. You know, there were mentor programs that my people got me into. You know, where there were black men who were trying their best to be positive role models for black kids. There were plenty of them. I would say that they were there. I wouldn't say plenty of them because they damn sure wasn't enough, but they were there, you know, and I appreciated that. There were plenty of them there. I keep saying plenty, but they weren't enough. I'm gonna say plenty, but they weren't enough. They weren't enough. I didn't have a mother and father growing up. I mean, they were there. They were somewhere, but so far as them teaching me anything I needed to know to survive, fuck out of here. They were victims of the game, for the most part. So here's my thing, because it was you people, it was the generation, my parents, who were born in the 50s and the 60s and all that shit. You know, the 50s and the 60s, who did us dirty, because y'all the ones who ended up becoming the crack kids in the 80s that we ended up serving in the 90s. Y'all weren't around for us. When we got our act together in the 90s, that's because we did that. We didn't want to be y'all. That was the best. That was the lesson that a lot of people that I know growing up took from what they saw their parents turn into. I didn't want to be what my parents were. I swore to myself I was going to be a better parent than my parents ever were to me. I'm not going to be no junkie. I'm not going to be no alcoholic. I'm not going to be turning tricks to earn $1. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And I know that because I was one of those kids who said that shit. Where does anybody from the generation before mine get off critiquing us, criticizing us on what we have or have not accomplished? Where do you get off doing that? Where do you get off doing that? You're on your drunken barbershop quartets at the fucking shopping center and shit, harmonizing and skitting and scatting and shit with a fifth of fucking Remy Martin in your fucking back pocket. Fuck, miss me with that shit. Miss me with that, man. Seriously, miss me with that. Seriously. Come on, like seriously, man, go ahead with that. Y'all don't have the right. Y'all don't have the right to criticize us on shit. If anything, y'all owe us a fucking apology. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. One of my uncles one time, we was having a conversation, and he told me, he just came out, he was like, man, I want to apologize to you and all your cousins, everybody in your generation. I want to apologize to you because we failed y'all. We did not do what we were supposed to do for y'all. We failed y'all. And I was taken back by that. We failed y'all. We weren't there for y'all. We weren't there to protect y'all. We weren't there to teach y'all the things y'all needed to know in life. We were not there for y'all. And that was real talk. And I appreciate that. And as you can see, I remember that conversation to this day. I was way younger than what I am now. I still remember that conversation to this day, which is one of the reasons that spurred me on to make this video, especially after I heard, because I started reflecting on that conversation when I heard that 20-minute segment of that video. Like, you owe us a fucking apology, because we didn't sell crack though. I wasn't fucking 3 years old selling crack. I wasn't selling crack when I was 3. I wasn't selling crack when I was 13. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna go into details to some of the raunchy, grimy, cruddy shit that I've said. I'm not even gonna go into all of that. But the people who were supposed to be the role models in our fucking neighborhood, in my neighborhood, they were role models and we looked up to them, but they were the biggest drug dealers in the community. They were the ones selling all the crack, supplying the whole neighborhood and this, that, and the third. They were the ones having shootouts, bodying somebody every weekend or every other day or something like that. They were the ones doing that. They weren't encouraging kids and playing basketball. Riding dirt bikes, playing basketball, selling cracks and killing. Get the fuck out of here. We're selling smack, selling heroin. Man, go ahead with that, man. Miss me with all that. They weren't out there encouraging kids to stay in school and read and this, that, and the third. There may have been certain pockets of dudes who wasn't going to let you play hooky, who would chase you away from, man, get out of here. You're too young for this. Get away from here. There were certain dudes that would do that, but not them all. I remember dudes trying to recruit me to be on their teams. I remember these days. Older dudes who were probably old enough to be my fucking father, trying to recruit me to be on their team. 12, 13 years old, like, you know what I mean? Like, seeing me walk, like, what's up, shorty? Blah, blah, blah. I hit you off with this 5-pack. This, come on. These are the influences that I grew up around. These are the people that I grew up with. So, before any elder or anybody who considers themselves an elder, anybody who was born before I would say before 1969, anybody born before 1969 or 1968, you don't have a right to criticize what my generation did or did not do, because you weren't fucking there. You weren't there. There were plenty of brothers who were, but there were too many of you motherfuckers that weren't. So before you point the finger at what the younger generation is not doing, look in the fucking mirror and look at how you contributed to the state that the black community is in currently. Look at yourself, because you have yourself to blame, because the generation that came before you all were way stronger than you. A lot of you got your inspiration from the Marcus Garveys and, you know what I'm saying, and the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther King, because they were older people in the 60s and 70s than a lot of you were. They were older people. They were the people that you looked up to. And look at who they got their inspiration from. You know what I'm saying? All the elders that came before them. And they took the knowledge and assimilated and passed it down. And then it's like in the 80s, it stopped. It stopped. After COINTELPRO put their foot in the asses of the black community, it stopped. It was no longer cool or fashionable for black men to be in their communities and actually trying to build up their people and raise their kids, because they were too busy with their own self-loathing and their own subjective narcissistic behavior. I mean, seriously, like, man, come on, man, you'd be amazed. Man, there's nothing more pathetic in the world looking at a 60-year-old crackhead, a 70-year-old crackhead. There's nothing more pathetic in the world. Now, I mean, you go in the hood and you just see kings of 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old crackheads and alcoholics. Mind you, trying to be slick and trying to imitate the youth of that day, and then turn around and criticize them and you didn't had the same habit for the past 30, 40 fucking years. Man, miss me with that, man. Seriously, go ahead with that. Before you point the finger at what the youth or the people younger than you have not done, take some accountability and responsibility for how you contributed to that same lack of effort and or positive change or positive effective change in the black community. Look at what you did or did not contribute to that situation. Did you spend the better part of the 90s slumped over in an alley with a needle stuck in your arm? Or in some abandonment or in some Carter building, know what I mean, smoking crack with some raggedy junkie whore, tricking off, got her out there hitting the block so she can get the money together so y'all can get that blasted. Man, come on, I done seen a lot of stuff, and if you grew up in the inner city like I did, you done seen a lot of shit too. You don't have it right. You don't have it right if you are an elder. What you need to do is come to the youth and try to not even circumnavigate. Come to the youth and try to share the knowledge and wisdom that you've gained over the years instead of criticizing and pointing the finger. Because you point the finger, you point one finger, 3 fingers are pointing right back at you. We didn't create the situation. We just did the best we could with the garbage that you all handed down to us. Because you created the situation. I was a baby when crack hit. How the fuck could I stop that shit from coming into the community? But all you tough talking motherfucking elders out there who blame us for the shit that you didn't stop coming into our communities is your fucking fault. What the fuck are you gonna do to change it?